Hey guys, welcome back, and in this video I'll be basically going ahead and showing you how the brand new GTA 5 runs on the GTX860M on my Asus Republic of Gamers G750JM laptop. Now I'll be running the GTX860M Overclocked, and I'll be sharing with you guys my results. So first of all, I want to get the specs out of the way, and the specs on this laptop is it has the Intel Core i7 4700HU processor, which is a quad-core processor running at around 2.4 on the base and 3.4 on the turbo. And here you can see my model number as well. It's the G750JM for those of you who are interested. Manufactured by Asus, of course. And getting back to the CPU, it is the 4700HU quad-core 8-thread CPU, 2.4 GHz base clock, 3.4 GHz boost. I'm running 16 gigs of DDR3 memory, and it's running at 1600 MHz if I'm not mistaken, which is overkill for gaming, but it's the base model came with 16 gigs, so what the hell. And the GPU, like I mentioned before, it comes with the 860M, and this is the Maxwell version of the 860M, which is greatly improved over the Kepler version, and it has a reduced CUDA core count and shader core clock. However, it does have a huge bump in frequencies, so it does overall perform much better than the Kepler version of the 860M. Now, the main reason I'm sharing with you guys, main reason for this video is basically the overclock on the 860M that I was able to get. Now, in order to get this overclock, I had to go ahead and unlock my BIOS, or unlock the overclock in my BIOS. So I had to go ahead and flash a custom BIOS for my G750JM, and that allowed me to overclock the CPU beyond what NVIDIA had limited it to. So by default, the clocks were limited to an overclock of 135 megahertz on the core, and I'm not too sure about the memory clock, but it was limited as well. But when I flashed the BIOS, it basically gave me full access to the clock's speeds, and so I was able to push the base clock in to around 1350 megahertz, and which is a boost of around 250 megahertz, and I was also able to push the memory clock by around 750 megahertz. And I want to get this out of the way, guys, and these are really stable clocks. I have been testing GTA 5 as well as Dying Light on this configuration, and it has been really stable. I mean, the temperatures are usually in the mid 70s on the CPU, and I think it is the high 70s on the GPU at max. And basically that's really cool for a gaming laptop. I mean, most gaming laptops out there run usually in the 80s, mid 80s, or some even run into the 90s, and a few of them even run into the low hundreds. So in comparison, this is a very cool laptop at even these overclocked settings. And as you can see, I have also overvolted my GPU by around 100 millivolts, and that has had no drastic increases in temperature as well. And basically my temperatures have peaked at around the high 70s at max, so I'm really happy with how it's performed. And the main reason for that I was able to push this laptop is it has a really good cooling system in it. It has really good thermal management as well, and basically it has dedicated heat sinks for the CPU as well as for the GPU, and it has dedicated fans for each of them respectively, so it's able to maintain those really cool temperature even with long hours of gaming. So like I mentioned before, I was able to overclock it substantially, and when I ran the benchmarks, I was able to even outperform the GTX870M in 3D Mark 11. So just to give you some numbers, when I ran the 3D Mark 11 Firestrike and the Firestrike Stranded benchmark on stock frequencies, I was able to get a score of around 3500 to 3600. However, when I overclocked it to these settings, I was able to get around 4700 on average, so that even outperforms the GTX 870M on its stock frequencies, that is. So that's a really huge bump in performance, guys, and this laptop has huge potential when you overclock it, especially the GPU. And now I'll be showing you how basically GTA 5 runs on it. I was able to run it at very high settings, and basically I wouldn't say it ultra because I turned off anti-aliasing, because I think even though it's overclocked, the GTX860M will not be able to handle 1080p in addition to the anti-aliasing. However, I still have enabled FXAA. However, MSAA has been disabled, so that's why I wouldn't call it ultra, but yeah, it is very high. And whatever I couldn't max out, I basically left it halfway. For example, you can see the sliders are left halfway, but other than that, I basically tried to max out whatever I could. And regarding the frame rates, I have also left Fraps open in the top left corner, so you will be able to see the frame rate, and you can be the judge of how well it performs. But in my testing, I was able to get an average of 43 to 47 frames a second, and that's on the settings that I just showed you guys. So that's a very respectable frame rate, especially on the GTX860M and on very high settings. The GTA 5 is a very huge game, guys, and it is very taxing on the GPU, especially on the video memory. And one limiting factor of the 860M is its 2 gigabytes of DDR5 video memory, because this game really chews through video memory really quickly, and in my experience, the settings that I've enabled in this game are consume around 2.6 GBs of VRAM, so I'm already exceeding the VRAM limit of my GPU, but nevertheless it was able to run fine. So yeah, and I'll basically stop talking now, and you guys go ahead and enjoy the gameplay. So yeah, peace, guys. I hope you guys liked the video, and I will also be going ahead and making a few more videos on the GTA 5, and if you guys are interested, I can also go ahead and show you guys how to basically unlock the BIOS or on the GTX 860M, so you guys can go ahead and overclock it as well. Other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Cheers.
Thank you.